Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Welcome back to our small holding series here on Scroft World Farm. It's nice to be back on this series. I mean, obviously, I intended to do episode 3 a lot sooner than this. But yeah, with me, I think, well known now that I hurt my back, so I had to take a few days away just to rest up. But I'm finally back on it, and we've got a big job today. In fact, probably the biggest job that's going to make us money. So it's important that we get this right, but we're going to be planting in, and we're also going to invest in a super cool piece of kit to do it. We're going to use the Ford, we're going to lease out a seeder, we're going to plant in 2 fields, we're going to do the grass field, and we're also going to be doing the field up there, which I've decided I'm going to just go with wheat. Keep it standard, first harvest on the small holding, it's got to be wheat. So that's the plan. I've cleaned off the Ford, everything's looking nice and clean now, except the Mattxjs. I haven't really done that, but it wasn't too bad in the first place. Just a little bit of dirt building up on that. But yeah, Ford is ready to go, and we are in the next in-game day. So it's September day 2. So let's start the beast up and figure out which one the door is. There we go. Did I actually shut that? Is that latch done? Yeah, it is. There we go. Job done. Let's go get this seeder then, because it's going to be... Well, it's the best option, but also it's a really good seed. It's just very expensive, and it's strange how the smaller it's strange how the other seeders that are same height, same size, so 3 meters, are actually they're too much on horsepower. So we'll have a look at that in a second when we get to the shop. But it's a strange one. So I've got to pay more money out for something that's actually better, and I'd probably prefer to use. But if I wanted to take a cheaper option, it would be pretty difficult to do. But it is what it is. I'm actually running on version 1.6. So yesterday, when I was recording a couple of videos, I was doing the video about the update coming out, which I actually did after my Calmsden. Well, it's not Calmsden, it's Oak Bridge. It's so difficult to remember that. But on the Oak Bridge, episode 13 that I recorded, I was talking about, getting fixes and updates like I normally do every now and again, just bring that into the series, my hopes and kind of wishes for what's going to happen. And then, I got the information about the changelog and what was coming, and I was really happy to see that they fix. Well, at the time I hadn't tested it, but it looked like they were fixing meadow grass and how that works, and also what happens to cows when you only feed them grass or meadow. So the fact that they can now produce milk and they can also reproduce, and they actually have 100% health, just 40% productivity, which is what it was always supposed to be intended to do. I think even in FS22 it was supposed to be like that, but it was just never been sorted. But finally it got sorted, and I have tested out. I spent probably the first hour on my computer doing the testing with just dairy cows on version 1.6, and I'm proper happy, I have to say that, because it's changing the way I want to do beef stock especially, but also it's nice to just get the idea of putting your cows out in the summer. They can actually graze and produce milk still. They can also reproduce, and if you want to do beef stock, it kind of makes sense just to put your cows out. So really, really useful information that I've gathered from that. And I will update my spreadsheet if you've been using that Farming Bible spreadsheet that I did right at the start of FS25, because that definitely now needs updating for dairy cows and probably beef stock. And I'm not sure how it's going to work with the other animals with meadow, because I know sheep and probably, thinking about it, maybe horses also rely on meadow. So it's something that might need to all be adjusted, but it's going to take a bit of time. And obviously my focus now is playing on Oak Bridge, playing on the small holding series, so I will be doing that in between. But I've got the information. In fact, I'll just tell you now what I basically know, which is now if you feed grass and meadow to cows, they'll give you 100% health but only 40% productivity. They now breed, they also produce milk and slurry and all that good stuff, but it's just less. So if you're doing grass and meadow, it's less, 40%, 80% for TMR, 80% for hay and silage, 100% for TMR. So you're going to get more milk, more slurry, and that's pretty much it. And more manure. They're the only thing. So if you feed TMR, you get the maximum of them 3, and then it goes down to 80% with silage and hay, down to 40% with meadow and grass. And the good thing about meadow grass now is it will obviously go into the pasture when you place down your cow shed or whatever it is, or even your open pasture for cows. It'll get consumed, and then if it's the winter months, it won't grow back and get consumed again. But as soon as you hit April, the meadow grass grows again and the cows consume it, so it goes into their like feed category for meadow. Now, one thing I have noticed is meadow grass is actually the highest quantity that gets consumed, basically the highest feed group that gets consumed. So I think it was about, this is not exact numbers, it's just top of my head, one cow like a Holstein or a dairy stock cow from ages 13 months to 24 months consumed about 3,500 litres in the year of feed. Now it's the same for silage, hay, TMR, grass, but meadow was actually 4,500, so it's like 1,000 more, and it jumps up, I guess, because it's trying to use up that meadow grass that's being grazed on, because you don't want to just solely rely on that. So I imagine if you put your cows out for winter, it's trying to probably push you to the plan of bringing your cows in for summer. That's the whole idea, I think. But with that, or I don't know, but they definitely consume more meadow grass from what I saw. But I really like the idea because you've got full health now, and you've also got full price. So if you're doing beef stock, you can leave your cows out to graze and just let them feed on grass or meadow, so you don't have to do anything really. And what you'll notice is you still get the maximum price. So you can leave your cows out, let them get to like 2 years old, and if you keep checking on them in winter, or even bring them in winter and feed them like hay and silage, then they're always going to be at a good health. It's only if the health drops down, which is when they've got no feed. Now, if they're out in the winter and your meadow grass isn't growing and they've consumed it all, then you've got a higher chance, obviously, of just having no feed. So you've either got two options there. You top up the pasture outside with some hay and silage and leave them out in winter, like a Highland cow would, or you bring them in for winter. So I really like the idea of that now, because it means that I can properly play a bit more realistic. So I think what I'd do is, like, say on this series we've got that grass area. If we use that as a pasture and then buy another grass field to do the work in, then I'll probably take the cows out in summer, even though they're only going to produce me 40% milk, because these are dairy stock I'm on about now. I will probably feed hay and silage whilst they're outside, so I'll still simulate them going outside to try and play somewhat realistic, but I'll feed them hay and silage instead of just letting them have the meadow grass, because I don't want to take a 60% hit on my productive, how productive I am with milk. So I'll take the 20% hit and just kind of simulate the grazing, and that's why I'm only getting 80% now. But then in the winter, I bring them in and get the 100% and feed them like a TMR, or even just keep feeding them hay and silage. That's the way I'm going to play with dairy stock. And then beef stock, I'm just going to leave them outside and bring them in for winter. So that's it. So I'll leave them out, let them feed on meadow or grass, or probably meadow. And then if I need to top them up because they're consuming too much in the area they're in, maybe it's a small pasture for the amount that I've put out there, the herd, then I'll top it up. But in winter, I'll bring them in and keep putting them back out again, because that means it's not much in feed costs. Because if they are relying on meadow for, let's say, like 4 or 5 months in the year whilst they're outside, then it's really good. And I just got super excited in that, and I wanted to share it. So that's all the information I've got. I know I've just rambled on. We will, I promise you, get into wrong one. Yeah, we will get into the actual episode now and do a bit of seeding. But anyway, let's look at this. So you can see that this Nordsten, it's a 3 metre, only 33,500, but too much horsepower. I know the maximum I've set for this series is 150, but my tractor isn't even at 150. So that's too high. Can't even use that. This is 165, 225, 140. Could use that, but I think I'm at like 130, so that's still technically over. I could use the Great Plains, but I feel like that doesn't suit very well on here, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the only one I could probably use, isn't it? 110. This one's 220, so that's too high. And that's weird because it's 4.6. It's just got no direct seeding aspect. But then again, that one hasn't. But I think it's because it's got some kind of harrow to it that's obviously consuming, which was using more horsepower. The horse is 150. So if we got a bigger tractor, well, that's the maximum we can ever go to. Because I want to. The reason I did that is just to stick with smaller equipment. But yeah, nothing's actually in that bracket, is it? Except this one, this mod. And I love this thing. I think it's brilliant. And I got some information in the last video from the comment section. And I want to thank you for that, which is, it's not actually a direct seeder, but it's kind of simulating it with it how, without it having precision farming in the game and everything like that. The way they've done it is it applies, from what I understand, it applies the ploughed state. So if your field needs ploughing, this thing will plough, plant, and it can even, add fertilizer. So it's a really useful piece of kit. Hence why it's £122,000, which is, a massive cost that I could not afford. I'm going to have to lease this out. But again, 120 horsepower, 3 meters. I think it's the only way to go. And it's a nice small seeder. It's perfect for our farm. And I think it's, it has to be the way to go. But we're going to have to lease it out. So 6,251 is pretty steep, but it is the only thing we can do right now. So let's grab it. All right, there we go. See what I mean? It's not actually that big, is it? It's a perfect size for this series. Ooh, just turn the engine off. Not on. Right, so let's get the beacons on and let's get attached to this, and then we'll go and take it back. We're going to fill it up with seeds and with fertilizer. We're going to do... We'll start with the grass field because it's the smallest one. We'll finish on the wheat field, which we've actually got set up already. But yeah, let's get it hooked up for grass. Let's just open up the cover. I want to see what that looks like. Can I actually open up the cover? It's not the normal... It's not the normal button. So it's even actually got allow create fields. So you can create a field with this as you plant it. How cool is that? Well, I can't seem to open the cover, so I'm hoping it's probably something that happens when you put a big bag over it. I don't know, but it's not opening. But no, that's a decent sized seeder. I think the maximum you'd want to go on this Ford, and probably like end game goals, like we'll buy one of these instead of leasing it out, and then we can use it for the field. And if we ever need to plough the field, I mean, I can always turn on periodic ploughing, because this will do the job with ease. Right, let's hope that this opens up now. I've got myself thinking, like, this should open up. I hope so anyway. I mean, normally it is just, the standard kind of button to it. I don't know. But anyway, let's do this. Oh, update. I got a new rear weight as well. So I sold the other one and got a new one that's hopefully going to work a lot better than the previous one. Because, it's... it wasn't doing a very good job, was it? It wasn't doing what we intended it to when we first purchased that. So this is a bit more beefy. It's a shame I can't grab that one there. But to be honest, what I want to do is grab both of these and see if I can do the fert and the seeds in one go. I'm hoping we've got enough seeds here. We've got 2 bags, and really we don't, it doesn't consume loads, does it, when you're doing planting? I'm hoping I can take these off. There we go. Right, so well, there you go. It has opened up, but this is going to be a challenge. I need to get... what I need to do? I need to swap out big bags for the actual kind of like pallets version of it. And if we just try to keep them on the edge, we might be able to do this. Fingers crossed. There we go. It is filling up that way, at least. I do need to try and figure out where the fert goes, though. Is that at the back? I'm hoping it's that bit there. I mean, it could be. It looks like that's a container section. Where is the fert? We definitely need a bigger grab. It's a shame. I might be able to lower this down, and that might make a difference. Nope. That didn't work. Right, faffing about. If I had a telehandler, and I think at some point should try and get a small telehandler to do the job here. See, that's where my problem lies. I might have to use super strength here, which is something I don't want to do, but I don't know where I'm actually filling this up from, and I can't actually get to it anyway. So we're gonna have to use super strength. I would have guessed that was where it fills up, but it obviously doesn't. But there you go then. It's not got fertilizer, even though it says it does have a compartment for it. Very strange. And the fact that it doesn't open up so we can even see it is, again, Strange. Let me just see this for a second. If I just grab this, jump up here. But I'm just doing some testing here. This is completely not what I actually had planned out. And see if I just plonk that there for a second. Hope it stays. Right, so it looks like the seeds have gone there. So this should be fur. Because seeds are just in that section. And they've also gone there. So this is seeds and that must be fertilizer. So really, what I should be able to do with this is do that. Do you know what it is? It's because it's not opened. But how do I actually open it then manually? Because there's no option for me to do that. Let's have a look at this. There's got to be a way to open it up. Because if I remove this bag, just plonk that over there for a second. I know this is faffing, but I've got to figure this out because I actually want to use this permanently at some point. So we've got turn on seeder, allow create fields, raise the crane arm, blah blah blah, lower the seeder, open front loader tool, unload. And we can tilt it, which is pretty cool. That is cool. I mean, imagine that this has got to work. Right, I've tried everything. I think I must have... Yeah, I've got to have maybe a conflict there. Because if I've not got the seed bags to the side, that triggers it to open. But I'm sure if I just lift this up here, it won't do that. See? So that's an issue. I need to figure out why that is. Because I can't just have seeds, a bag of seeds every time that's near it, unless I do fill it up together. But I mean, it's good how it does that. I mean, it looks really good. The animations, I love the fact that you can see the two compartments. You go up here. You know, you got seeds here. In fact, we can put more seeds in. So we'll do that in a second. But let's get this fertilizer in because, you know, I want to try and maximize what I'm doing. I want the next job to be rolling. So, yeah. But not not perfect, is it? That's definitely something I've messed about with. It's got to be. It's got to be a conflict. I've got a lot of mods already, which is good to see. But there we go. So we're now sorted. We've got 1,000 litres of fertiliser, which is probably going to go quicker than the actual seeds. We've got 2,000 litres of seeds, which has got to be plenty for the size fields we're doing. And let's get the ball rolling with this. Oh, quickly, just want to point out this gate in front of me. I saw a comment, and it's a really good comment about, you know, it's annoying the fact that it's going this way and not that way. But the problem is, if it went that way, one, it would go through that wall, and also if it went here, it'd go through that one. So I'd have to change the angle at which it opens. But the problem with that is it changed all them gates, and if I ever place down a single gate like that, it would change all of them to open like that, unless I make some kind of custom one. And it made sense to just have it open this way. So I know it's not ideal, and it could be better if it was just swinging in there, but this is where we're at, and this is just how it's gonna have to be, unfortunately. Let me see if I can fuel up here. Is it working? Is this another problem? Got loads of conflicts today. I don't want to buy any because we've got plenty in, as you can tell. There we go. There we go. Just another one of them where I have to jump in and out. But let's get this fueled up because I'm going to need it into 2 fields, and there's not enough fuel in that tank. It was like half full. And you can see we're going up now. We're just about to hit 100 litres. And in fact, no, the diesel tank isn't full. We had 500 litres in there, so we could buy some more, but we don't need to do it just yet. But yeah, let's get this full, and we'll go from there. And also, we should probably shut that. Do you know what? This seeder is pretty good, though. It is a clever piece of kit. The fact that it's subsoils and you can create new field boundaries with it is really cool. Really cool. Anyway, we're ready. Let's go. Enough faffing. Let's get this done. We're going to need some more fert at some point, though. We really are. But you see what I mean? It's just the perfect size. I wouldn't like to go any bigger with a seeder for this series. As you can tell that, yeah, it's on the max. It's on the max. But at some point I will get another field, another grass field, and we'll use this as a pasture. It's probably the best way to go about it. Right, let's see what we can set up here. We're going to use AI Worker because it just works really well. We're going to use Steering Assist though, and I'm going to probably make it 4 headlands because the turns with this might not be the easiest. I mean, actually, 3 should do the job. I'll probably regret that, but yeah, let's go with 3. And let's just for now turn on the lines, and I think what I'll do is I'll start on the centre and we'll worry about the headlands at the end. But let's get this grass in. After this, we're going to do some rolling, and then we're set, aren't we? We're pretty much at the point. Again, a conflict. I've had loads of these conflicts since, not version 1.6, since 1.5, where it just doesn't want to stay. But if I use my keyboard, it's fine. So it's a really strange one. Like, it just wants to keep deactivating. It's like flashing. It's such a strange thing. I don't know if it's because I've got like steering wheels and other things that are going on, but if I hold it, it works till that happens. So not ideal. But I'm going to have to just use my keyboard, unfortunately, for this. But the main thing is we are planting. We are planting. And we don't want to have, just make sure I haven't got this, don't want to have allow crate fields enabled, which I haven't. So that's good, because we definitely don't want to faff about with that stuff. But no, we're planting in. We're getting fertilizer down as well. You can see the fertilizer is going down probably quicker than... Yeah, it's definitely going down quicker. I just hope the seeds last. I mean, it should do. I've only used 4 litres there. It's literally it. 4 litres. I think it's probably wise to miss a pass on this. I mean, it might not be the realistic thing to do, but it just makes life a lot easier to do with the turning of it. And there we go. I mean, that's got to be a thumbnail. Get this Novag T-Force Plus, which is a brilliant seeder. I think it has to be, you know, the seeder we try and buy, because it will suit us right to the end of the series. We don't need anything bigger. We don't want to be doing bigger fields. You know, even if we do the one massive field that I was talking about combining together, that is still plenty. But anyway, let's get this on a time lapse. I'll see how much we can get through, but we'll definitely at least get this grass field done.
I'm just walking, city lights and people talking. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I wonder if you got that feeling, staring at your bedroom ceiling. I think about me the way I think about you. Could you tell me, should I let you go? Yeah, I gotta know, yeah, I gotta know if I'm gonna be yours, so don't you keep me waiting. Yeah, I have to know, yeah, I have to know if you wanna be mine, 'cause this is so frustrating. Tell me now, don't keep me waiting. Hey, these 4 walls get so depressing. I'm so tired of my second guessing, reading every text you sent just one more time. It's quiet when we both are sober, but 2 drinks in and we start all over again, and it feels so right. So just tell me, should I let you go? Yeah, I gotta know, yeah, I gotta know if I'm gonna be yours, so don't you keep me waiting. Don't you keep you waiting. Yeah, I have to know, yeah, I have to know if you wanna be mine, 'cause this is so frustrating. Tell me now, don't keep me waiting. Hey, another night and I'm just walking, city lights and people talking. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I wonder if you got that feeling, staring at your bedroom ceiling. I think about me the way I think about you. Could you tell me, should I let you go? Yeah, I gotta know, yeah, I gotta know if I'm gonna be yours, so don't you keep me waiting. Yeah, I have to know, yeah, I have to know if you wanna be mine, 'cause this is so frustrating. Tell me now, don't keep me waiting. Hey,
Right, so I've done the grass field. I thought it was going on a little bit too long. I mean, it's a brilliant machine, but probably does need a bit of more juice in that in the Ford. I think if we had the 150, it'd probably help, even though it only requires 120. But going uphill, especially in the grass field in that area, it was struggling. But I have got the worker going now, so we're going to go and have a quick chat about something. We're also going to look at the cows, because I do want to think about getting some more, because I've got a lot of feed, really, for the amount of cows that I have got. So I was thinking, like, should I go and buy some more? I've got 13,000, so not much money. And I have obviously got my debt. I don't want to spend loads, and if I do get cows, I'm going to have to pick them up from the animal dealership, because I don't want to spend, the money that it takes to get the delivery charge. But we've only got 4, and I was thinking if we get another 6, it might be a good idea to go up to 10, because you can see the milk's at 463 litres. So we'll obviously be producing a lot more there. A couple of mods as well that I got sent, and want to thank everybody for the suggestions. I didn't get sent them, I actually got sent just the idea, the link and everything, so I went and downloaded them. But I want to shout out Leroy for sending over a milk tank that he thought would be good for the series, and I have to agree, it's perfect. So if we go to here, yeah, there it is, which is the 3-point tank, 2,000 litres. So again, it's not massive. I also got this one, which was 1,000 litres. So probably, it's better to do this at 2,000 litres. I think at maximum I'd go for something like this, but I don't know. I think that's a bit beefy for what I want to be doing on the farm, because I've got to store it, whereas this is going to be really easy to store. So I need to pick that up at some point, because we got a little milk tank where we can go sell our milk. Also got sent something by CB Modding that I'm going to actually use in the series. So I want to shout out CB Modding and quickly just show off the bale trailer. And we're going to get it at some point, so we'll go into it a little bit more in depth when we do buy it. But I want to show it off because this has actually been sent to Giants by CB Modding, and it will be releasing hopefully soon, depending on obviously testing and all that good stuff. Where is the bale transport? There we go. So it should be here, which is the round bale trailer. This by CB Modding. And you can see it's basically perfect for this, because it just, it'll hold 6 bales. And, for the size fields I'm doing, grass work and especially, that's going to be perfect. And I can store it down at the other, I can store it on the section where I've got that track. So I think it'll fit in perfectly there. So we're going to grab that at some point. It's only 6,500 there, but I think it was 6,750. And that's probably the best bet. Did find another mod as well, which was this, but that was too beefy in the end. It's too long. Whereas if I look at the size of this, that is actually probably close to this. This one's obviously a little bit smaller, but that's just, it's too big for what I'm after. I also found a homemade one, but again, too large. And there's also the brilliant red rock trailer, which technically isn't, that's probably the limit we'd want to go on, but it's a bit tricky to maneuver that. I am looking for something like maybe this size that I can stack up, because the problem with this is I can only put 6 on, and then I can't stack after that. I might be able to get an extra 2 on, I'd say, so I could probably fit 8 bales on this, but that's the maximum. So I am still looking out for stuff, a sprayer especially, and I found a few, and I've been sent a few links by people, but the problem is they're all conversions that shouldn't have happened, and that's something I don't want to go anywhere near. It's just not a good idea. So I thank you for sending me everything, but make sure if you do, just check that it's been converted with permission, it's on ModHub, or it's on a third-party site where it's had permission to be on. And some third-party sites I just don't use at all because they upload the mod directly to their own way, and then the downloads from there, so you're taking away from the original author, which again shouldn't happen. So it has to link to the original source as well. Again, I know it's difficult, and I do feel for players because if you want to do the right thing, sometimes it feels like it's a minefield and you're going to step up at some point, even though you're not intending to make a mistake. But it's just about trying your best. So I appreciate all the links and mod ideas, but a lot of them have been something I wouldn't use for them reasons. But that's about it. Right, so yeah, in the next episode we'll get some cows. I think we'll get another 6. We'll also do some rolling. I think that's needed, and then pretty much at that point, then the field will be set because, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to do for it. Roll. We might technically have to do herbicide. I'd have to check. I mean, depends if the weeds are going to grow. I'd like to use a mechanical weeder because it doesn't impact as much. So we'll have a look at that. And I have got a weeder. I've also got a roller as well, so that's a straightforward job. But yeah, after that, the fields are done. I do think that's going to run out of fertilizer though, so we might need to do a bit of spraying on this field, just in a section. So I'll have to keep an eye on that and see what happens. But yeah, I'm sure we'll find out in good time. Now, before I end the episode, 2 things. First thing is I want to tell you a bit of news that I've got about the farm in front of me. So I actually got a message from Oxy, and he offered that in the future, not yet, but in the future, that he would allow me to release this farm so people can play it. So this version of Calmsden, or, Oakbridge Farm now, not Calmsden, but you know what I mean. This custom edit of the map, I will be able to release in the future, but not yet. So I'll let you know when that happens, but Oxy has given permission for it to be shared eventually. So I thought that was really good because, one, it's proud for me that Oxy thinks it's good enough to be released. I don't know if it's going to be PC only because I don't know if I can get it on ModHub. Might be very difficult to do that. If it was something like that, I'd want Oxy to upload it himself because it is it's his map at the end of the day. It's not mine. But I don't think it's going to be that. I'll be honest. I think it's going to just be a PC only, something I can share maybe as a link in a video description kind of thing, or on my Discord, and you can play it a bit like I did on the other Calmsden from 22. So yeah, just want to make that point that it probably isn't going to be console, unfortunately, and it is going to be PC only, and it's not yet as well. So there's no rush for it. I don't know exactly when it's going to be. Oxy's going to let me know, and then when it is, I'll make sure to share all the information. If you want to play it, you can, because yeah, I know I've got a lot of comments in the past few videos of people saying it's they'd love to try it out. So that's great news, and I want to thank Oxy for letting that happen as well in the future. Now, the last one is completely random. Now, obviously, last week I wanted to do more videos, especially on this series. I didn't get the chance as much, so I only did one, and I feel like I'm lagging behind. So I thought, I've always wanted to do this as well, which is when this video ends, the next one's coming out. So we're on episode 3 right now, and as soon as this video ends, episode 4 will drop, maybe within a minute, depending on how I can get YouTube to schedule it. But keep an eye out on the channel, because episode 4 is coming right up now. But I'm going to leave the video there. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me because that really does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.